there, and welcome to the third instalment of vinyl albums that inspire me. I did one and I had more requests. I've done two, I've had more requests. So here's the third. 20 records that I like. I'm going to show them to you and talk a little bit about them, and without further ado, here it goes. The first record I chose was Green on Red's Gas Food Lodgings. Green on Red are an Americana band, which features the great Chuck Prophet and songwriter Dan Stewart. There's some great tracks on this, like Hair of the Dog and 16 Ways. Sort of reminds me of Neil Young and Crazy Horse in a roundabout sort of way, but you've got Chuck Prophet's twangy guitar, which you can still hear today with his solo albums, and I think that Dan Stewart is still writing as well, but this is definitely worth checking out. Green on Red's Gas Food Lodgings. So that's my first pick today. And my second pick is a Welsh one. Dave Edmunds, Repeat When Necessary. This record is worth it just for Sweet Little Lisa. Albert Lee plays one of the finest guitar solos ever with his B-Bender Telecaster on Sweet Little Lisa. So it's definitely worth checking out. All the Dave Edmunds back catalogue, because you've got Dave Edmunds, who's a great guitar player. You've got Mickey G on guitar, Billy Bremner on guitar, Terry Williams on drums, John David Williams on bass. You know, and the list goes on and on. Dave Charles on drums as well. So it's definitely worth checking out the Dave Edmunds back catalogue. Oh, and I nearly forgot Geraint Watkins as well, playing piano. So yeah, Dave Edmunds, Repeat When Necessary. My current pick for the Dave Edmunds back catalogue. But that could change, as you know. And now, I think in the first or second episode, I spoke about I didn't have a Jimmy Bryant LP. Well, I do. So here's the Bryant's Back in Town album. This was recorded in the 60s, without Speedy West. But absolutely fantastic. Happy guitar, fender bender. And I mean, this is a reissue on the Hat label. But I mean, to check out any of Jimmy Bryant's stuff, you know, his fingers are lightning and he's an incredible guitar player, musician. So definitely check out Jimmy Bryant if you haven't already. I've got one Jimmy Bryant video on here, me playing a little bit of Knight Rider, which is really fast and really hard. But, nevertheless, Jimmy Bryant, fantastic. And now we want to do a bit of blues. John Lee Hooker's Real Folk Blues album. This came out on Chess in the 60s, I believe. But it may have been recorded before then. But this is all John Lee Hooker's, just him and an acoustic guitar, and I love John Lee Hooker. I mean, I love John Lee Hooker with a band, but John Lee Hooker and his acoustic guitar, the Real Folk Blues of John Lee Hooker, another favourite record of mine. And now, back to the blues, as they say. B.B. King, Live at the Regal, a classic. My all-time favourite B.B. King album. This is an Ace reissue. I have got a first press here somewhere, but this is the one I pulled out. Classic tracks, Every Day I Have the Blues, Sweet Little Angel, How Blue Can You Get, which is my favourite. But definitely check out B.B. King Live at the Regal. I'm sure 99% of you know this record, but it's a favourite of mine, so I thought I'd show it. And now to Dick Dale. This is one of his later albums, from the late 80s, early 90s. It's called Unknown Territory. You can get this on CD as well as vinyl. And it's got some of his lesser known instrumentals, but there's a great version of Ghost Riders in the Sky on this. And it is a classic Dick Dale, loud, twangy reverb guitar. Surf guitar at its finest. And he even does Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash on this record. So it's definitely worth checking out this Dick Dale's Unknown Territory. Up next, a fine guitar player, Jerry Donahue. This is his Telecasting record, which have got tracks on it like The Claw. And I remember seeing Jerry Donahue in the Jubilee Club in Wattsville, down by Newport. There was about 10 people there, and he was doing all that fantastic behind the string bending that he does. And this is his best solo album. Of course, check out his stuff with the Hellcasters as well, with Will Ray and John Jorgensen. But Jerry Donahue Telecasting, I think this is a second press. There's another version with a white cover with him with all Telecasters all around him. So that's Jerry Donahue Telecasting. Up next, a guy in the sort of same vein as Jimmy Bryant. the fantastic Roy Clark. And this is the lightning fingers of Roy Clark from the mid-60s. And this is worth the money just for the 12th Street Rag. Absolutely incredible. I say incredible guitar player that Roy Clark was. An incredible musician, fantastic banjo player, fiddle player, and a great entertainer. And I think sometimes his guitar playing goes overlooked in a way because of how much of a good entertainer he was and how funny the bloke was. But nevertheless, incredible Roy Clark. And now we're going to go to the Americana section of the video, I'd say. Joe Ely, Dig All Night. It was a real toss-up for my favorite Joe Ely album, but I just love Dig All Night. I think David Grissom plays guitar on this, but I might be wrong. But anyway, Joe Ely, fantastic Texas songwriter. I was looking on the back for the credits, but can't see who played on it. But Joe Ely, one of my favourite songwriters. And up next, another great country artist, Dwight Yoakam, Guitars, Cadillacs, etc. What a great album. Pete Anderson on guitar, an amazing guitar player, and Dwight singing is fantastic. And I mean, absolutely amazing. If you haven't heard Dwight Yoakam, check out Dwight Yoakam. He's one of my, well, I say they're all my favourites because I suppose they are, because it is the albums that inspired me video. But this record, I mean, there's loads of stuff on my channel and me playing stuff off this. But just check it out, Guitars and Cadillacs. I mean, a lot of these, if we don't want them on vinyl, you can get them on CD, like, really cheap. So, you know, they're worth checking out. Up next, back to the blues, Big Joe Williams. Classic Delta blues. Absolutely love Joe Williams. He plays his modded 9-string Harmony Sovereign guitar. Here's my Harmony Sovereign guitar. And Big Joe modded his to have 9 strings, and he gets a great sound. Absolutely fantastic. Everybody knows Big Joe, everybody knows Baby Please Don't Go, which is an absolute classic record. But he's definitely worth checking out if you're into that Delta blues sort of stuff. I thought, well, we couldn't do a video without some bluegrass, Flat and Scruggs. This is a Foggy Mountain Breakdown record, or Mercury, which of course features Foggy Mountain Breakdown, which is one of my all-time favourite guitar instrumentals. Absolutely incredible. Lester Flats, Earl Scruggs, incredible. There's no other word to describe these two other than incredible. And now we've done Beef Art before, but I thought we'd do Trout Mass Replica. The first time I heard the record, I didn't know. I thought, what the hell is this? But I was told, you know, you've got to persevere with it. Keep persevering, keep persevering. And I absolutely love the record. You know, it is a work of art. You see, you know, how they put that music together, Ella Guru and My Human Guess Me Blues, Dali's Car. I just, you know, it's just, I've been studying a little bit with Eric Clerks, who plays in the Magic Band, and we've been putting together some beef art music, and Human Guess Me Blues is one of the most bizarre and difficult things I've ever tried to learn on the guitar. There's a clip on the channel of that as well, if you want to check that out for all the beef art fans. But this is, you know, it has mixed reviews, but I think it's definitely worth checking out and definitely worth persevering with, because I think you'll get a lot out of it once you get into it. Excellent. And now here's a bit of a classic, the Byrds, Sweetheart of the Rodeo. My favourite Byrds album was Clarence White playing the B Bender guitar, which is absolutely knockout. Everybody should own Sweetheart of the Rodeo by the Byrds, classic. Now I was thinking, what's my favourite Bob Dylan album? So I decided to show Love and Theft, which is from around 97. I'm just a big fan of this record. I mean, you've got songs like Mississippi, Tweedledum and Tweedledee, High Water, which is a song he wrote about Charlie Patton. We'll have to show some Charlie Patton LPs. But I mean, I love this era of Dylan, you know, with this album and Time Out of Mind, etc. Classic stuff. And then I was looking, Asleep at the Wheel's first album. You know, Asleep at the Wheel are a great band. And I mean, you've got the Cherokee Boogie on this, the Hillbilly Nut, Take Me Back to Tulsa. They're just a class band, you know. And I was looking forward to seeing these in Bristol, but obviously the gig is cancelled because of the virus. But anyway, if you ever knew to Sleep at the Wheel, Ray Benson, they're still going now, and they're definitely worth checking out if you like your Western swing sort of stuff. And we couldn't do an album favourites without some Jeff Beck. In my opinion, one of the greatest ever guitar players. This record is just, well, all his records are just, every Jeff Beck record is different. I mean, I love this one because of the, Goodbye Pork Pie Hat is my favourite on this one. But this is when he's playing a Les Paul and not a Strat. So his guitar playing is completely different. But no matter what, Jeff plays. Absolutely love Jeff Beck. I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. I was listening to the Return of Wayne Douglas album by Doug Sam. And I decided to pick his first album. Of course, some of you will know Doug Sam from the Sir Douglas Quartet, She's About to Move a record. But this is Doug's first album. It's like country, western swing. He's a great songwriter, great singer, virtuoso fiddle player as well. And I checked this album out, and the Return of Wayne Douglas album has got Bill Kirchin on lead guitar. And you all know how much of a fan of Bill I am. So definitely worth checking out old Doug. And now, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Jesse Ed Davis's solo album. Jesse Ed played guitar with Taj Mahal and lots of people like that. He died quite young, and this is a bit of a tatty press on act call, but it came out in the UK on Atlantic. And Jesse Ed's first album, it's fantastic. He's an amazing guitar player. Great tone, feel, etc. And I think he's one of the only real Red Indians in rock music, I think. Don't quote me on that. But definitely check out Jesse Ed Davis. And then, back to the blues for the final record this week. Jimmy Vaughan's Strange Pleasures album. This is Jimmy Vaughan's first solo album after the Fabulous Thunderbirds, and features songs like Boom Bappa Boom, Six Strings Down, which is about Stevie Ray dying. I'm a massive Jimmy Vaughan fan. I love his Gatemouth Brown approach to the electric guitar, and definitely check out Jimmy Vaughan's Strange Pleasures album. So there we have it. There's another 20 albums that inspire me and I like, and I talk a little bit about them. And if you haven't heard them, go and check them out. And if you don't like them, it doesn't matter. It's all good. And I just want to show one more LP. This is my LP. And this LP doesn't inspire me, but for many years it was my dream to have my own vinyl album. That's all I ever wanted, was my music on the vinyl album. So this is my album, Twang. And I'm doing a bit of a shameless plug on it. But I just always wanted a vinyl, and I finally realised that dream recently. So I just thought I'd show you my debut album as well. But it definitely doesn't inspire me, and I've never played it because I can't bear to listen to myself. But I'm so pleased to have it. So there we are. That wraps up the favourite vinyl inspires me albums. So I've done a total of 60 records now. So if you enjoy this video, give me the thumbs up and give us a subscribe. And as long as you keep watching them, I'll keep doing them. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.